serious. We're live here on the streets of Jerusalem. There has been a significant situation developed here in the last few hours. The IDF has went into the city of Nablus, which is about 44 miles just outside of Jerusalem. They were doing a terrorist raid on a terrorist organization called the Lion's Den. It got out of hand. Okay, they were going to try to arrest 3 members of the Lion's Den, but it got out of hand. 11 people are dead. 107 people are wounded. Of the 11 dead, 6 of them are leaders of the Lion's Den terrorist organization there in Nablus. This has put the entire country here in Israel on high alert. No doubt about it, the IDF's on high alert. Matter of fact, we've just gathered information just a few minutes ago that within 20 minutes, and I'm live right now at 9 p.m. Israeli time, 9 p.m. Israeli time, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, the Islamic Jihad and Hamas have said they're going to start firing rockets out of Gaza into Israel. I'm just telling you that this is a very intense moment. Now, here in the streets of Jerusalem, you know, you don't feel that at all. I mean, the tourists are walking by, the people are friendly. We just had a wonderful meal a few moments ago. Here in the city, peace and calm. Tourists are not at all concerned because it's really not about us, the tourists. This is all about the situation developing really between the terrorists that are operating in this nation in different locations, especially over in the West Bank and in other areas, and Gaza, and between the Israeli citizens and of course the IDF. And it's the job of the Israeli Defense Forces to keep this nation safe, to keep this country operating and functioning as it should. And so since the new government went in, Benjamin Netanyahu went in, right? His new national security defense minister, Begley, goes into office. Begley said, I am not going to allow these terrorists to fester. I'm not going to let these terrorist organizations to build up and prepare themselves to make some type of move on the Israeli citizens. Instead, he said, I am going to clear them out, prevent any kind of attacks upon the people. Now, I just saw, and I was just talking to Israel Hall a moment ago, in Israel we were just talking a few minutes ago, that the Hamas has said, we're coming for you in your streets, on your buses, in your marketplaces, in your neighborhoods, talking about threatening the Israeli people, okay? And so this situation is going to get very intense the next few days. Now watch CNN, watch some of your national news networks out of America. They're going to paint the picture totally different. They're going to paint a picture of heavy-handed Israelis, the heavy-handed IDF. Begley is too strong. Netanyahu's far-right-wing government has gone too far. You're going to hear all this same kind of rhetoric coming out of some of our mainstream media right in the United States. I'm telling you now. Now, from a prophecy standpoint, this is exactly what the Bible said would happen in the last days. That this type of confrontations, this type of adversity, this type of
800 live.
There's 800 people watching live. I'm so glad you people are watching. Thank you, Israel. So I'm standing on the streets of Jerusalem right now. It is peaceful in Jerusalem. I don't expect any problems here tonight. I really don't. I'm not worried. I've been to Israel 11 times. I've been here during moments of intensity. I've been here one time when 450 rockets were fired out of Gaza. There's no threat at all to the tourists. So what I say to you, I brought 57 people here to Israel. We had a beautiful time. Most of them have already come home. They're already home. There's only 4 of us left now. We've been traveling all over the country filming. I was in Jericho today. Having a meal at a beautiful restaurant owned by a Christian man who was once a sniper for
Abbas.
For Abbas. Actually, no. For Yasser Arafat. He drove Yasser Arafat's car around. He was a sniper for the PLO. Jesus Christ came to him in a dream and said that he was the Messiah, and he told the man he wanted to save his soul, and told him that if he would dig under his house, there was a well of unbelievable amounts of water. The man accepted Christ as his Savior and dug a well. The well was filled with so much water that it's unbelievable. He's able to completely the entire city of Jericho.
Come to me and you'll never thirst.
You'll never thirst. Jesus said, I am the water of life. Okay?
Life.
And this man was able to bring a gushing water of water to the city of Jericho. He's built restaurants. He's built daycare centers as a Christian, as a born-again believer in Yeshua. So I've been in Jericho. I spent time at that restaurant today, had a wonderful meal. Meanwhile, not far from where I was at, okay, in Nablus, this situation was taking place. But Nablus is one of the most dangerous cities in Israel outside of Gaza for terrorists. And this, like I said, this terrorist organization was called the Lion's Den. They were involved, and Ben-Gvir knew it, and they went in to snuff them out early before they launched an attack on the people.
Well, Lion's Den took responsibility for an attack in October that killed Israeli
soldier
or policeman.
Can't
So
remember.
they already
they do this. This is what they do.
This was discovery.
But obviously, folks, 11 people are killed and 107 are wounded. Because what happened was the people it was announced over the loudspeakers.
The mosques were doing a call to action.
Call
for
to
everyone
action.
To go in the streets and fight.
And go fight these guys. There was like 20 Israeli Defense Forces special ops were in there, right? They tried to take these guys on, which is a mistake. So what happens? 11 are dead, 107 are wounded. It didn't have to be that way, okay? It didn't have to be that way. So, look, again, you're gonna hear a whole different spin from I promise you, tonight, tomorrow, you're gonna hear a total different spin from the US media. I'm reporting it to you first from the streets of Jerusalem, the real story of what's been going on. And so I decided, in show of support, I'm wearing my IDF hat tonight. I'm just being honest with you. Got an IDF shirt. I'm just being honest. I think that we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. The Bible tells us we will prosper. We should pray for all people. Like I said, I was in Jericho today, meeting with the people in Jericho. Beautiful. I mean, and you have to understand, this is incredible. The Christianity is spreading in Jericho. Unbelievable.
Pastor, you have 950 people live.
Praise God.
Today that Palestinian man in Jericho gave me one of the head wraps. Is the Khalifa or something?
Yeah,
He gave me that as a blessing of peace. He gave me the color that's for peace.
Yes.
He asked for what my name was. He said peace for Israel, and gave me
And he is a Arabic man. He was a Palestinian.
Yep.
Palestinian in Jericho, giving Israel Hall a scarf to wear for peace. I'm saying there are wonderful people in this country, wonderful people, and I mean wonderful Palestinian people, as well as Israeli people, who want peace. You're only talking about 1% of this nation, these radical terrorists who truly want to bring chaos to the land. And guess what? The United Nations and some of these other organizations, they want chaos. They are not really, I mean, I hate to say it, but UN is supposed to be an organization, they say, to help bring peace to the world, but I'm sorry. They spend more time bringing resolutions against Israel, condemning the Israeli people, and condemning the Israeli government, condemning the IDF, After a while, it gets tiring. And you want to know, is there a voice out there that will tell the truth? Well, I will. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm going to say to all of you, I want to thank you guys for 13 years. This March 1st will be 13 years of broadcasting live, doing YouTube videos, and for the last 8 years, television shows as well, bringing you current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. And I want to thank Israel Hall and his wife, Kristen. They've been with us on this entire journey. They've got to see the entire nation. They've got first time in. Has it been eye-opening to you, Israel? I mean, what does it mean to you?
Very eye-opening and heart-opening. I mean, it's just amazing here.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
absolutely beautiful.
So I'm begging you guys to pray. I know there's about 1,000 of you watching live. This is impromptu. Tonight I'm going to be live with Pastor Melvin Whittington over at Getting Ready. Okay, it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning here, but he's asked me will I come on. Israel's going to come on as well. We're going to kind of tag team with Melvin. We're going to give Melvin an update. Plus, guess what? That's how many hours from now? It's 5 hours from now. We will probably have some late breaking information of what's going on in this nation 5 hours from now when we go live on Getting Ready. That broadcast starts at 7 p.m. Eastern over at www.ffctv.show.
1,000 people.
Okay, that's www.ffctv.show. That's www.ffctv.show. Go there. We'll be live with Pastor Melvin Whittington. He's in the villages at Wildwood, Florida, in the villages in Florida. We're here in Jerusalem. We'll be live with him, and we should have, really, if the rockets are going to fly.
They said 9 o'clock is when they want to do that, and that's in like what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes from now. Just 10 minutes.
That's what they threatened.
I love
We've got 1,011 people now.
I love this green wall.
Yeah.
I love the green wall. I don't know. Is it okay for me to say that? I love the green wall. Is there 1,000 people here right now?
Yep.
I mean, that's spectacular. Spectacular. You guys are here without any advance notice what was going to go on.
I'd have to say, this is very strange. Israel woke up in room 222 in Israel on 222.
So in other words, your room number this morning was room 222, and the date here is 222.
Yes.
23.
Very strange.
Okay.
Not that numbers always mean anything, but it was just strange.
Just wondering about that, right? Okay. Well, it's a very powerful, this is a breaking news event. And like I said, rockets could start, we actually could start hearing sirens. Look, let me just say, when they fire rockets out of Gaza, it's very difficult for them to get a rocket all the way to Jerusalem.
What if they have them in Nablus?
That would be shocking if they somehow figure out a way to get rockets in the Nablus.
Has moved.
We're 44 miles from Nablus. I don't know if they've... Look, there was... Benjamin Netanyahu went out of office. There was 18 months that this nation was under. 12 months of Naftali Bennett, 6 months under Yair Lapid. They were lax in their security efforts. Is it possible that rockets could have made it into Nablus during that 18 months before Netanyahu got back in power? I'm telling you, because Benjamin Netanyahu don't play, okay? And that's partly what you're seeing. He's taken, let me just speak up for King Bibi for a moment. He has to take back over a country that for 18 months was lax in its security efforts. So you know he's wondering how much stuff got into some of these cities out of the West Bank that made it, or out of Gaza, that made its way into the country that could be now dangerous to the Israeli people. He has to go back and clean up some of that before somebody really gets hurt here. And we've already had a shooting in the synagogue. 7 people were killed. We had another drive-by. Since I've been here, a guy drove into the bus stop and ran over and killed 2 people and wounded 5 others with his car. That was just right here in Jerusalem, since we've been here. So let's give Benjamin Netanyahu a break here, that, you know, he and his new defense minister, Ben-Gvir, are really probably trying to tighten things up for the security of the people, okay? I'm not gonna say that I agree with everything, that maybe you know, some would say that maybe these guys are going a little too far. I understand that, it's not my business. I'm just saying, when it comes to terrorism, you can't put a price on a life. You can't put a price, you know, you have to secure things. So this is very interesting. We're just a few minutes away before 9 o'clock here in Israel.
Almost 1,100 people live.
1,100 of you are watching live. I'm standing on the streets of Jerusalem. It's a very beautiful evening, and I just wanted to share this with you. So tonight, be praying for the peace of Jerusalem tonight. I'll be back live, along with Israel Hall. We will be live with Pastor Melvin Whittington on the Getting Ready show tonight. Don't miss that show. Okay?
And what about Friday?
Friday night, thank you, because Thursday night with Mike Around the World, I can't do Thursday night. tomorrow night. I'm traveling. I'll be in an airplane. So Mike is so kind. Mike around the world. We're going to do a special Friday night broadcast live. There will be no Thursday night show. It will be Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with Mike from around the world. You talk about a prophetic broadcast. We will have time to understand what all's happened here. What about the huge solar flares on the sun 2 days ago? What about this wave of energy? What about this 6.3 earthquake for the third time hitting Turkey and Syria? What is the death toll there? What else is going on? Mike, what about Putin? And, we got more news to tell you. Putin, did you know that Putin, we just found this out, Israel, that Putin planned on launching the Satan II, the nuclear missile. He planned on launching that during the time that Biden was in Kiev, but his missile failed. So when Putin gave
Not today, Satan.
So when Putin gave his speech, he was shutting down the START treaty that was signed by Mikhail Gorbachev and Ronald Reagan. He shut that down. That's over. He suspended that. And he also wanted to announce that while the world would have known that he fired off a nuke into the sky, the Satan II, that has the ability to reach America. But his missile failed. So his speech didn't have the bite, didn't have the teeth that he wanted. He didn't get the propaganda that he wanted. And maybe that's because God's hand was on the rocket. Okay? You got to ask yourself a question. The last thing we want is a world war. And let me just say this. For those of you who are saying, Pastor, why are you supporting Biden? Look, I agree that Joe Biden, President of the United States, Kamala Harris, I think they've been a little too aggressive. I think they poked the bear too many times. We don't need a world war. We don't need a world war, please. But at the same time, let's not cut off our nose, spite our face as Americans. The last thing you want to do is be on the wrong side of a world war, okay? So we don't want one. We don't need one.
Pastor, we have 1 minute to go until 9.
Okay, 1 minute till 9. Okay. Do you have alerts on your phone?
I do. So if anything goes off, I'll know. But you want to just give a recap? There's people that got in late here.
Okay. So
back in October.
In October, a terrorist group called the Lion's Den killed an IDF soldier and was trying to kill more. Israel's Mossad and some of the IDF, working hard to figure out who are these members, these high-ranking members of this Lion's Den terrorist organization that are really in the city of Nablus. Nablus is 44 miles from where I'm standing right here in Jerusalem. This morning, Israeli Defense Forces sent in 20 of their top commandos in there to root out the Lion's Den terror network. They were trying to arrest the top 3 officials of that den, but things went haywire. The terrorists fired back. They fought back. What happens? There was even a call went out over social media and over the loudspeakers that the IDF is here. Go fight them in the streets. The people poured into the streets. What happened? 11 are dead.
1,200 live. That's just one tweet from somebody.
Hamas is on. Okay, here's a tweet coming in right now from UKR Report. Hamas is on high alert. Palestine is expected to attack Israel tonight. Okay,
that 1,200 live right now, Pastor
Okay,
Paul.
Now get this. So when they fought against the IDF in Nablus today, 11 people are dead, 107 are wounded. Of the 11 dead, 6 of them were the top-ranking Lion's Den terrorists. And their names have even been named here on the news here in Israel. So this is why Hamas, the Islamic Jihad, and some of the other terrorist groups are saying revenge, revenge. They're going to be firing rockets out of Gaza. They even announced they're going to start firing them at 9 o'clock tonight, which is right now. So we're live. We're here on the streets of Jerusalem. It's peaceful here. If you as a tourist here, I'm looking at tourists just walk around casually. There's no problems here because the Iron Dome, the David Sling, these are such powerful protective defense mechanisms that Israel has to protect the people. It's incredible. But This is tense. This is some very, you know, I would say, I mean, you would have to admit that this is a very tense moment for this nation. And so if you're praying for me and Heidi and Israel and Kristen, don't worry, we're leaving tomorrow. We're headed back tomorrow. We'll be catching a plane tomorrow night. But tonight, I'll have more of an update for you with Pastor Melvin Whittington at 7 p.m. Eastern at www.ffctv.show. That's www.ffctv.show. I'll be live. Israel will be live. We'll be live with Pastor Melvin Whittington, who is in the villages in Florida. We'll be able to give you an update, and we will know by then, that's 5 hours from now, whether rockets have been flying, what's been going on, what does this all mean in this great city. How many people are watching tonight?
1,308.
God bless all of you.
Live.
1,300 of you live. I mean, impromptu. I really appreciate you guys coming and doing this. I mean, wow. It's 9 o'clock.
I don't hear anything going off, and I don't have any red alerts, so that's good.
Good news. Maybe. Pray for the peace. Pray for peace here. Pray for peace. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, reporting live from the streets of Jerusalem. Shalom, shalom.